first explosion doesn't hit us. It hits the tank in front. 1 second it's rolling through the dust with us. The next, the turret launches into the air like someone kicked a steel can. Flames burst from the hatch, and before anyone can scream over the radio, ammunition begins cooking off inside. I remember gripping the gun controls so tightly my fingers went numb, while our commander shouted the words that still echo in my nightmares. "Target in front!" I'm 26 years old, the gunner of an armored battle tank. I joined the army because I wanted a stable paycheck and enough money to help my parents escape the debt they'd carried for years. I believed 60 tons of steel made us untouchable. I learned how wrong that was. The mission sounded routine. Escort a supply convoy through a valley we'd crossed dozens of times before. Dawn was just breaking, the engine rumbled beneath our boots, and the column stretched for nearly a mile across the desert road. Inside the tank, everything felt normal. The engine vibrated through the hull. Through my thermal sight, the world glowed in shades of black and white. Then I spotted movement. Tiny heat signatures slipping between abandoned buildings. "Commander, 11 o'clock. Before I could answer, every single heat signature disappeared, like they'd been waiting for us. The silence felt wrong. Then the first RPG slammed into the lead vehicle. The explosion shook our tank so violently my headset nearly came off. Dirt crashed across the armor as alarms screamed inside the fighting compartment. "RPG left!" Another impact. The convoy instantly dissolved into chaos. Trucks jackknifed across the road, infantry scattered for cover. Through my thermal optic, I caught brief flashes of fighters sprinting between walls before disappearing again. "Identify! I've got one! Fire!" The main gun roared. The recoil slammed through my chest. An entire building vanished into dust. For 1 second, I thought we'd broken the ambush. Then a terrified voice exploded across the radio. "They're behind us! They're everywhere!" It wasn't an attack. It was a trap. They'd allowed the front of the convoy to pass before sealing both ends. We were trapped inside a steel corridor. Rockets started hitting from every direction. Every blast rang through the armor like a giant hammer striking a bell. Smoke flooded the optics. Visibility disappeared. Then came the sound every tanker fears. A deafening metallic crack. The driver yelled, "We lost the left track!" The tank lurched sideways and stopped. 60 tons of armor, immobile. The commander ordered the turret toward another alley, but it crawled painfully slow. Hydraulic pressure was dropping. Outside, dozens of fighters emerged carrying RPGs and machine guns. Others sprinted directly toward us, carrying satchel charges. "Loader! Coax! Keep him back!" The machine gun hammered non-stop. Bodies fell. More appeared. Then I heard something impossible. Footsteps on our tank. Heavy boots running across the roof. Something smashed against the engine compartment. Someone was trying to force a hatch open. The driver whispered over the intercom, "They're on us." Nobody answered. Inside, warning lights spread across every display. Engine fire, hydraulic failure. The temperature climbed rapidly. Sweat poured down my face. The commander looked at each of us. If the ammunition ignites, he didn't finish. He didn't need to. Every tanker knows what happens when shells cook off. Your tank becomes your coffin. Another explosion ripped through the rear compartment. The engine died. Emergency lights flooded everything in deep red. We were trapped inside burning steel. The commander grabbed the hatch handle. "If we stay, we burn. If we leave," he checked the periscope. "They're waiting." There wasn't a right choice anymore. Only survival. He threw the hatch open. Gunfire erupted instantly. He climbed halfway out and disappeared. I never saw who shot him. Only blood pouring back through the hatch onto the turret floor. Our loader shoved me. "Go!" Smoke swallowed everything as he climbed outside. The neighboring tank was completely engulfed in flames. Seconds later, its ammunition detonated, launching the entire turret high into the air. I jumped from our hull into a drainage ditch as bullets snapped overhead. Shrapnel ripped through the loader's leg, but I dragged him anyway. Behind us, our tank burned brighter. Then the ammunition exploded. The blast threw me face first into the dirt. Hours later, I woke in a field hospital. They told me over half the convoy never made it home. People think tanks are indestructible. From the outside, they look like unstoppable monsters. From the inside, they're nothing more than steel boxes filled with ordinary people, praying the next explosion isn't the one that turns their armor into their own tomb.